Hello, one and all, to the amazing video game podcast called YemmyCast. Thank you all for coming. I am Yemmy the Ferret, your host, your one and only, and we're here talking about more video game news and video game related topics. Hell yes! On the ballot today, we got the JoyCon lawsuit, the Shovel Knight board game, Luigi's Mansion news, Cyberpunk 2077, Wolfenstien YoungBlood, so much more. So make sure you stick around for that stuff. It's gonna get crazy, guys. Morty. Anyways, no, please don't click away. Anyways, remember this is YemmyCast, a video game podcast. I'm Yemmy the Ferret, and we're bringing you the news. Woo! If you haven't checked it out, last episode of the Rebuilding My Deck, I opened up the entire box of Arena of the Lost Souls packs, so if you want, you can check that out. We got some nice cards in there. More stuff is going to be coming every week. That's on Tuesdays, so thanks for checking that out. If you want more YemmyCast, it's available on YouTube, Spotify, SoundCloud, and iTunes/Apple Music. You can check it out on any of those places. The podcast premieres on Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, and also premieres at 9:30 a.m. on Sundays as well, so make sure you check that out. This Sunday, I'm going to have my friend Nick, a.k.a. Greedy Waffle, on to talk about the Madden 20 ratings for each team. We're going to talk in depth about that, so make sure you check that out. And then the next week, the week after this week, I'm going to have Kylex Plays on to talk about his channel and video game stuff as well. More info on that coming next week, though. Don't want to spoil anything, just to know that that's what I'm planning for the next few weeks. Tuesdays are always straight news. It's always going to be news. We hardly ever have guests on the weekdays anymore because the weekend episodes do the job. As you notice, I'm not sweating profusely today because guess what? The weather has changed for the better. Thank goodness. The sun's out, but it's cool. There's a nice breeze running through. I have my windows open. That's a new thing for me. If you hear my wind chimes in the background, those are my wind chimes. So thank goodness the weather has let up so that I don't have to run a fan. I don't have to sweat profusely while doing this. It's going to be a good time, everyone. So once again, welcome, and I hope you enjoy. But let's get to business. U.S. lawyers have filed a class action lawsuit against Nintendo of America for claims relating to alleged defects in the JoyCon controllers that are part of Nintendo Switch gaming consoles. The complaint filed in the United States District Court for the Western District of Washington alleges that the joysticks on JoyCon controllers are defective, leading users to experience drift issues. Specifically, the complaint alleges that the joystick on the JoyCon controllers will automatically register movement when the joystick is not being controlled by the user and interfere with gameplay. The complaint, filed on behalf of purchasers of Switches and JoyCon controllers, bring claims under various consumer protection statutes as well as various warranty and common laws. So this has kind of been building up for a while, don't you think? Joy-Cons, they look like they're going to be the real deal, but not everyone, but a lot of people have been getting drift issues with the Joy-Cons, which means that even though you're holding it still, it'll still move to the left or to the right or whichever way. The weird thing is, my Pro controller is doing this, but not my regular Joy-Cons. I haven't tested that thoroughly, but it seems like my Pro controller, when you're playing Tetris 99 or something, it will just move things without me pressing anything on the controller. When I'm playing, like, I was playing in handheld mode yesterday while watching a few streamers, and everything seems to be okay with my Joy-Cons. So I haven't personally had this problem, but I know a lot of people, I've talked to people on Discord, Twitter, etc., who have had this problem, and it is a pretty wide-reaching problem. This isn't something that's like, oh, it's a few models here and there. This seems to be a good amount of Joy-Con units having these issues. And that lawsuit was filed last week against Nintendo of America. And the company, Nintendo, has come out and gave a statement on the issue. So they said, at Nintendo, we take great pride in creating quality products, and we are continuously making improvements to them. We are aware of recent reports that some Joy-Con controllers are not responding correctly. We want our consumers to have fun with the Nintendo Switch, and if anything falls short of this goal, we always encourage them to visit www.support.nintendo.com so we can help. Very generic statement. Obviously, they're not going to come out with the guns first thing. So we'll see where this goes, because if this does go higher in the court system, people could be getting refunds and or replacements or something like that. There'll probably be forms online you'll be able to sign up for and get replacement Joy-Con sent to you with proof of purchase, to be honest with you, which I don't have anymore. Probably a lot of people don't have anymore. The sad thing is that Nintendo has usually made pretty good controllers and stuff like that, and I was even praising the controllers during my live stream. I really like the Joy-Con controllers, even though people would rather have a D-pad, and even though the buttons, if you use the right Joy-Con, are a little bit too close together with the joystick. But all in all, I feel like it's a fine controller. But there's a lot of people who have problems with it, and I don't want to be the person going against it just because I haven't had the problems myself. You need I reached out to people on Discord, and there's plenty who have talked about it and told me about it. There are some fixes you can try and do, but not all. The fixes don't work all the time, so good luck. I guess that's what Nintendo's saying here too. In more Switch news, a new standard version of the Nintendo Switch is going to be coming out relatively soon, and it's going to have improved battery life, and that's pretty much the only thing that they've stated so far that's going to be new on this console. So it's going to be available in mid-August or September if you're in the UK and Europe, and it doesn't seem to change anything on the outward appearance of the console or memory or anything like that. Just the battery life has been improved. So they're changing to a lithium-ion battery, 4310 mAh, if you want to know the specifics, and it's going to last for about 4.5 to 9 hours. The battery life will depend on what games you play, of course, and they said that the battery lasts for about 5.5 hours while playing Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, as opposed to it only lasting 3 hours playing the same game. Of course, not all games are going to use the same amount of battery power, so even though I was playing SteamWorld Quest on my Switch yesterday while I was just kind of using it, and Super Mario Maker, those games aren't as high, battery absorbing as like Mario Odyssey, Mario Kart, Breath of the Wild, stuff like that. Those can definitely eat your battery faster. I've never really had a problem with my battery life because I do not play games that require so much battery power that, I'll be charging it every 3 hours. Because if I do play those games, I just play them on the TV, So you're going to be able to tell the models apart by the updated packaging, and you won't have to search serial numbers or anything like that, even though the pictures that they show kind of look similar. But yeah, they said that it's going to come out in August of 2019, so look out for those on the shelves. I'm sure they're going to sell pretty fast, especially for people who have been waiting on a new version of the Switch. Me personally, I'm not waiting on a new version of the Switch because I bought one, and people probably might pass over this because of the Switch Lite coming out as well. Who knows? Also, Nintendo announced new JoyCon Colors that are going to come out in October. There is going to be a dark blue and yellow and a purple and orange combination. And this actually makes it so there's over like 100-something Joy-Con combinations. So the pairs are going to sell for about $80 each, which is still pretty outrageous. They're going to be available beginning October 4th. The specific color names are blue and neon yellow, and then neon purple and neon orange. So you can customize your Switch even more now. Personally, I've never felt the need to buy an extra pair of Joy-Cons. The Pro controller has been enough for me, but dang, is that a lot of money? I think they should definitely invest or make it like a cost-efficient version of the Joy-Con. Take out some of the stuff in it, put a big warning on it, say, hey, this is a cheaper model. You won't be able to play Mario Party or whatever, but, I'm glad that my Joy-Cons haven't broken, so I don't have to lay down $80. Like even like a PlayStation controller or an Xbox controller, they still get up there in price. They're about the price of a regular game. I bought a wired Xbox One controller for my PC when my my off-brand one broke, and that was about $40, so it wasn't too bad. But still, it's like, you know, you're going up towards the $100 for some of these controllers. Like, look at the new Xbox controller that's like $190 or whatever. It's pretty insane. Pretty insane. Alright, so the Shovel Knight board game Kickstarter has been canceled, and it's going to relaunch in August. They're going to be reworking some things because the backers have been giving them a little bit of criticism. It was not too long ago that Shovel Knight celebrated its 5th anniversary, and that same week they put out the Kickstarter for Shovel Knight Dungeon Duels. According to the designer Panda Cult Games, the plan is to relaunch in mid-August, though. We would like everyone to know that we have decided to cancel the current campaign for Shovel Knight Dungeon Duels to dig in and relaunch the campaign in mid-August. We heard our backers loud and clear about their love of Shovel Knight, as well as what their expectations are, and that is immensely important to us. At Panda Cult Games, we loved playing the Shovel Knight video game, so much so that we reached out about making a board game out of it. We also absolutely adore the board game that we have put together. As a small team, it's surprisingly important to us to care about what we do, what we are working on, as well as treating it with the proper respect it deserves. We believe this campaign can be better, and we have plans to improve it and open it up to a much wider audience with a more cost-friendly version to boot. We have also seen your questions, comments, and concerns. We want this campaign to be the very best it can be, because that is what Shovel Knight deserves. And they also kind of listed out the changes that they're going to make. One of the most common comments was about our base pledge price. Woo! And similar ideas on how to adjust it. Our original idea was for the board game to have beautiful models based on the incredible and lively art that carries so much of that Shovel Knight charm in it. That being said, models do introduce a certain price point issue, so we decided to create a brand new pledge level that will include a version of Shovel Knight Dungeon Duels with standees instead of models. This will dramatically reduce the barrier of entry from $70 to about $30 or $35, so we officially have two pledge levels. Shovel Knight Dungeon Duels 2D, priced at $30 to about $35. This version will trade out models for standees, reducing the cost but still giving you all the fun of the board game. Shovel Knight Dungeon Duels 3D, priced at the original $70 level. This version will contain highly detailed pre-assembled models in colored plastic. This is the first change. Additionally, we will have more videos available on the campaign from multiple groups, sharing previews and their thoughts on the game. We will also have more time to spread the word about our campaign further and wider than ever before. I mean, that's a good idea. Having $70 for an entry fee on a Kickstarter is quite a lot. I mean, even though the models are like high detail models, I mean, it's still a little bit of a stretch to get the average person to pay $70 for a board game these days. $30 to $35 is good. I think that'll do very nicely, and I think that'll open it up for more people to join in on it. I'm glad that they rebooted this because, just like I was saying in like the last episode of YemmyCast, we don't need to rush things out. You know, if something's not the way that the developer or the consumer wants, definitely take the time and listen to the consumer and testers and change those things. It's not too difficult. As you see here, they rebooted the Kickstarter campaign. I'm not sure how much it earned before this. It doesn't say on the article, but I think it was a pretty sizable amount. So they raised over $20,000 US, and they want about $80,000. They had 25 days from the beginning, and people weren't, I guess they just weren't pledging the money. You know, the people were looking at it and going, yeah, I don't know about that. So hopefully this will open up more avenues for people to join in and have fun. And the game looks interesting, and, you know, it could be a cult classic. Well, it already is kind of a cult classic, but this board game may be a classic with the board gamers. Alright, so if you're a Splatoon 2 player in the US, you can snag a new in-game gear set for absolutely free. Splatoon 2 has a final Splatfest going on, and you can now treat yourself to a last-minute in-game gift for old time's sake. The gift in question is a gear set, and it comes with 4 pieces of clothing: gray FA-11 bomber jacket, brown bomber jacket, red V-neck limited tee, and also a green V-neck limited tee. If you want to pick them up, you can head over to your My Nintendo account, and you'll be able to hand over just 100 of your platinum coins to get this bundle. The set was also available in Europe, but only those who spent £25 on the Real Life Final Fest t-shirt, which are now available to purchase anyway. So that's kind of weird. But if you're in the US, you can pretty much get these 4 items for free practically. It's not too hard to get platinum coins. You can pretty much just visit the site and get the coins right away. So that's nice of them to do. Alright, so 2 Point Hospital is going to come to the Switch and other consoles in 2019. There's going to be a physical and digital version of the game. This game is developed by Sega and 2 Point Studios together. And they revealed that 2 Point Hospital is making waves to the Switch, Xbox, and PS4. It's been available on the PC for quite a while now. It actually was released in August of last year, so pretty much a year has gone by since the original release at 2 Point. It's a spiritual successor to the 1997 game Theme Hospital, which is a business simulation title. In a press release for the announcement, they said the following: bringing 2 Point Hospital to console is something we've always envisioned when starting up 2 Point Studios in 2016. Our community's number one question since launch has been, when is 2 Point Hospital coming to consoles? Well, it's happening, and we are very excited. So I think this game on the Switch would work pretty well since it has a touchscreen interface. I'm not sure about the console stuff. It may slow things down, getting your joystick to move around the areas. I don't know if this game is too time sensitive on things, but it could cause a little bit of commotion, I would suppose. So that's cool that you'll be able to use it on the Switch and on all the other consoles as well. I never played 2 Point Hospital, but I did watch a few people play it on live stream, including Insane Scyther. So it's fun to kind of see how people play the game and stuff like that. I don't think it's a game for me personally. I would rather go with a Zoo Tycoon or something like that, which Planet Zoo is coming soon. So I'm excited for that. I've always liked Roller Coaster Tycoon over the Hospital Tycoon and stuff like that, just because it's more, I don't know. What would you say? I don't even know. It's more of a fun concept for me to build an amusement park. I love amusement parks, so I would like to build one. I don't love hospitals, so I'm gonna skip it. It still looks like an interesting game. I've watched hours of gameplay, so it's not like I don't know anything about it, but it does look pretty cool. It's definitely a simulator, but it's an arcade simulator, so it's not too bad. Alright, so Team Rocket is going to come to Pokemon Go, and they're in it right now. Pokemon Go Twitter came out and said that there were mysterious reports of Pokestops being discolored, and for trainers to tell them about it. And it looks like this, and then they replied to that tweet saying, it looks like the sightings of discolored Pokestops has increased as more trainers have started to submit reports, and they said that this seems troubling. So Team Rocket is invading Pokemon Go with their Shadow Pokemon. You can choose to purify the Pokemon if you wish, with Candy and Stardust being used to boost the stats and return Pokemon to normal after you defeat them. So far, the Pokemon who have been showcased are Bulbasaur, Charmander, Squirtle, Rattata, Zubat, Snorlax, Dratini, and Mudkip. And they've already been spotted in shadow form across the game, and they're expecting more to show up in the near future. So this is nice for people who are fans of Pokemon Go. They keep updating the game. At least it's been out for 2-3 years now. It's been a while. 2016 was the initial release date, so yeah, 3 years ago it came out, and they're still putting out updates to the game and new content in the game. If you don't remember from last week, there was the One Piece Pokemon Go mashup. And I think that's ending, though, because the Team Rocket stuff is starting. So, cool beans. Alright, so a new Switch carrying case is going to include a portable battery for storing and charging while you're on the go. The game accessory maker Bionik is just days away from launching its latest storage solution for Nintendo Switch, the Power Commuter. The carry case is going to include a removable and rechargeable 10,000 mAh battery pack, as well as a Type-C and USB-A outputs that aim to make the product an ideal solution for Switch players to take their console out and about. Of course, this comes out before the new Switch console, but not too long before it. So I don't know if that's going to affect their sales or not, but I mean, we shall see. On the website, it lists the full list of features. So it says removable battery, adjustable and removable shoulder strap, additional heavy padding located in key areas for added screen protection, water-resistant YKK zippers, plush interior fabric for secure scratch-free storage, unique flap loop with zipper allows users to quickly connect the commuter to other bags, straps, and consolidates carry-ons. I didn't know that word. Additional large zippered compartment provides mesh storage packet, dedicated cartridge slots, and built-in cable wrap. The screenshots make it look kind of big, and I think it is a bit of a bigger thing. There's one picture where the guy has it strapped around him like a freaking ammo case, like he's got bullets in the damn thing. They also show it standing upright and charging in a wall slot. This could be good for people who don't have the funds to get a new Switch console, but it comes out July 29th. It's going to be shipping July 29th, and it's going to be about $70. So it's about half the price, or even less than that, less than half the price of a new Switch model. So this may be the solution for people who have problems with their battery. All right, so this year's QuakeCon is going to celebrate 25 years of Doom, and it's going to have two special panels focusing on the past and the present. Part of the celebrations, Bethesda will host a special panel on Friday and Saturday. Doom Eternal will also be featured, and so will the ID Software developers Marty Stratton and Hugo Martin. The rundown is as follows. Friday at 11 a.m. CT, the Keystone presentation. Immediately following the Keystone presentation, there's going to be 25 years of Doom's influence on video games. An all-star panel of Bethesda developers look back at how Doom's launch 25 years ago impacted the video game industry and the game that followed. Featuring leads from ID Software, Machine Games, Bethesda Game Studios, and Bethesda Softworks, the roundtable discussion will cover games old and new, trends in sutures, and beyond. On Saturday at 11 a.m. CT, the same time, knee-deep in the Doom. Join ID Software developers Marty Stratton and Hugo Martin for the first live gameplay demo of Doom Eternal using the award-winning experience from this year's E3. You'll also be able to view all of this on their Twitch channel as well, and also on QuakeCon.tv all day. 25 years of Doom. That's pretty amazing. Doom Eternal is coming out very soon. It's going to be launching... I don't even remember. It's going to be launching the 22nd of November this year. It's getting closer. I'm excited for this. Doom, the original Doom reboot was fantastic. And last week, I think, I talked about the new multiplayer mode that they're going to be adding onto it, which gets me more excited because the multiplayer in the original Doom was kind of poopy. This one seems to be more Doom-esque, and it's going to be more fun, I guarantee it. Quote me on that as well. So there's going to be two more classic Star Wars games getting a limited run reboot, remaster, whatever you want to call it, later this week. The major surprise during E3 this year was physical video games specialist Limited Run were partnering with Lucasfilms to re-release classic Star Wars game. It began with the re-release of the original Star Wars game in June, and now the company is following up with Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back for NES and Game Boy, as well as The Shadows of the Empire on N64. You'll be able to order both games from the Limited Run Games website this Friday, July 26th, and it's gonna open up around 10 a.m. Eastern Time. In addition to the standalone copies of the game, Limited Run is offering collector's editions with The Empire Strikes Back priced at $84, where you'll get a retro cart pin, commemorative coin, game manual, art cards, and reversible poster, all in a beautiful, rigid box. The type of pin you get will depend on which version of the game you purchase. The collector's edition for Shadow of the Empire, which is going to be about $90, is going to feature the game on a translucent purple cartridge playable on the N64, a reversible poster, game manual, art cards, and retro cart pin, once again packaged in a rigid box. Okay, so I was wrong. They're not remastering the games. They are simply re-releasing them, which is still pretty cool. Collectors worldwide will want to get their hands on these. I played Shadow of the Empire when I was a kid. I love that game. It started off on like Hoth, and you used a snow speeder, then you went into this bounty hunter ship, not bounty hunter, but smuggler ship, and you faced IG-88, and it was pretty cool. I really enjoyed that game. It was It was pretty fantastic, and it controlled pretty well for the time. I remember mine had like coffee stains on it, so it would glitch at times, but it was still a pretty cool game. I would love to see Limited Run or whoever remaster these games because, or maybe not remaster, but at least do like HD remakes or something like that. You know, give them a new paint job, a slap some fine tuning on them. I don't know. Kind of interesting, kind of cool. I'm glad that they're doing this. I'm waiting for Rogue Squadron. Alright, so Wolfenstein YoungBlood, its file size for the Switch has been revealed, and there's also a trial edition listed on the Switch eShop as well. So, you might want to get your micro SD cards ready because the game is going to take up about 20.6 gigabytes of space, which the console only has 32 gigabytes of internal space to begin with. So you're going to want to pick up a micro SD card if you want to play this game on the Switch. The eShop has also updated, including a Wolfenstein YoungBlood Trial Edition priced at $0, and it isn't a demo in the traditional sense, but it will serve as a place to go if you are teaming up with your friend who has a buddy pass. The special pass comes with the deluxe version of the game and allows the buyer to invite their friends to play alongside them, even if they do not own the game themselves, kind of like a Way Out back last year. So that's interesting that that's new information to me, that the game is going to be of course it's co-op, but you won't have to actually have two people buying the game. Only one person has to buy the game, and then the buddy pass will allow the other person to play with you. So that's going to be released this Friday, the 26th, and I'm excited for it. It looks pretty cool. It's going to be the first Wolfenstein co-op game that I've ever played, and I don't think there's really ever been one since then. And it has an interesting concept to it. Hopefully it'll continue off of the Wolfenstein story, or maybe it won't because it's more of a spin-off than anything, kind of like YoungBlood, or not YoungBlood, Old Blood, but we'll see. Also, in other Wolfenstein news, the producer says that the Switch version is a miracle. Panic Button labeled as magicians. So during an interview with Venture Beat, the game's executive producer Jerk Gustafsson described how the Switch version was a miracle and said it was all thanks to the talented team at Panic Button. He says, "I'm always impressed by the guys at Panic Button, that they can accomplish things like that. It's a miracle. We're pushing the engine pretty hard in this game. Of course, we did that for New Colossus as well. These guys are magicians. It's a great honor to be able to work with them. I'm very happy that we can get YoungBlood on the Switch." So Panic Button has also put out ports of Rocket League, Doom, Wolfenstein, Warframe, and it's also working on the new version, Nintendo version of Doom Eternal as well. So we'll see how this one is. They've done good work. You know, it's not like the ports are bad. The Doom port runs really well. That's the one I have that from them. So, you know, everything seems fine with that. And it's exciting to see this game on the Switch. And, you know, past consoles, you would never imagine a Wolfenstein game, a Doom game, whatever, on the Switch, but hey, here we are. It's the future. Someone trained their Parakeet to recreate the Switch's home screen menu sounds. Someone in Japan trained their Parakeet to do that. He's not saying any real words. He's just making the noises. So let's go ahead and crank up the tunes, and we'll listen to that bird. I don't know. Kind of sounds like someone's just pressing buttons on their Switch. Well, either way, it would be cool to see a Parakeet trained to do that. We'll. I don't know if it's real or not because you can hear like him clicking on buttons in the background. So I don't know. I do not know. All right. So Dr. Mario World has surpassed 5 million downloads in its first 7 days. Jesus. Right now, it currently stands at number 4 for the all-time mobile game downloads in the first week, being beaten by Mario Run and the Animal Crossing game and the Fire Emblem Heroes game as well. So the game is also has gained about $500,000 in revenue. Players spending some is still impressive when compared to average mobile game releases. Toon Blast made about $90,000 its first week, and Candy Crush banked in around $170,000. So Dr. Mario is definitely seems to be plagued with microtransactions, or people who want to purchase the microtransactions. I don't know. I haven't played the game since I downloaded it originally, and then I stopped playing it. But You know, it's a pretty good release for a mobile game, but not good enough. Not good enough, and it's definitely kind of concerning to see how much money people are spending on the game. $500,000? Okay, dokie. Alright, so some Luigi's Mansion news. Pre-order Luigi's Mansion 3, and you can grab a ghoulish glow-in-the-dark steelbook. It pretty much has Luigi with a flashlight up to his face, you know, cowering in fear. Luigi's Mansion 3 is in the middle, which is probably the glow-in-the-dark part. And then Gooigi is at the top, mirroring what Luigi is doing, but he's Gooigi, and there's goo around him. In the background, it's just a hallway. It looks really nice, and it makes me want to go pre-order the game right now. I'll probably pre-order it when I go pick up YoungBlood at my local GameStop. So the game is coming October 31st, which was recently announced as well. And it's going to be released worldwide on the 31st. And I'm actually kind of surprised that it's coming out the same day as Halloween, and usually they don't do stuff like that, but I mean, that's good. That's pretty cool. And even the Resident Evil games are releasing the day before Halloween, so, you know, it's interesting. It's interesting. So, so currently it's just been announced for EB Games in Australia, and people are hoping that, and I'm hoping that it will come to the US and Europe as well. Kind of weird that there would be a Australia only thing. I don't know. Maybe we'll have to confer with our local Aussie, Callus. I'm just kidding. All right, so this is kind of weird. Death Stranding, a scene has been stolen in a Brazilian perfume ad. Hideo Kojima's influence, of course, reaches pretty worldwide, but it's kind of weird to see him influence a perfume commercial. So there's a scene in one of the new trailers where a giant figure is kind of holding up like strings or something like that, and Norman Reedus' character is cowering, and then all of a sudden there's a giant flash and everything ripples and goes black. In a commercial by Boticaro for a new scent, it has another figure of a more mannish looking figure with ropes attached to him, and almost practically the same thing happens. Instead of rocks being floating, there's actually lights going towards him, but eventually it shakes and then it goes black as well. The similarities between the two scenes are pretty astounding. Maybe it's just an homage to him. Maybe they're ripping off of him. Who knows? In the same vein of news, or not the same vein, but Death Stranding news, the official cover has been leaked, or not leaked, but released, and it's just simply Norman Reedus in his suit with Death Stranding in front of him. So it's gonna be interesting. And speaking of box art, nice segue, Yemmy. Borderlands 3, the original artwork has been shown off. So as you know, the current artwork is the more like religious symbolism kind of thing. It's a psycho with 3 fingers holding up, and he's golden and all that. The original one was going to be more akin to their older games. So remember Borderlands 1, it just had 1 finger gun pointing at his head. Then Borderlands 2, it was 2. Well, in this one, there's 2 finger guns pointing at his chin, and then also his foot is in there as well, right on his chin as well, which is pretty funny. You know, not gonna lie. I mean, it's a humorous and funny looking box art. I'm glad that they went with this different style, though. I like this new one. I think it encapsulates the game a little bit better. This one just seems a little bit generic. You know, it's like we've seen it before. Blah blah blah. Yes, it's kind of funny with the foot in there, but you know, I think that it's the way that they went is better in my opinion. But this cover is still pretty good. It's literally just him doing the little finger gun thing, and then the blasts come out of the sides and up the head, and it just shows the 4 Vault Hunters you can play as, and then at the top is the 2 main villains of the game, the 2 twins of the game. Well, also with a rocket shooting out of his head as well. So I'm excited for Borderlands 3. It comes out the 13th of September. I'm counting down the days. Oh, it's not too long now. All right, so Infinity Ward has shown off some PS4 Pro footage of Call of Duty Modern Warfare multiplayer mode Gunfight before the official reveal August 1st. They played on 2 different maps, one called King and one called Pine. Both of the maps are beautifully rendered. They both look really, really good. They showed off a few different guns, like the AK-47. There was also a shotgun, a few different shotguns. There was a sniper rifle in there, an LMG, pistols, etc., etc. They showed off some of what you can expect from the game multiplayer-wise. Of course, calling cards are back and emblems, along with, obviously, I think score streaks are going to be back as well, or kill streaks. The new design of the guns and stuff like that look really sharp. There's also lots of detail in like the trees and the environments, the shadows and stuff like that. Something that we really haven't seen in a Modern Warfare. Even in Black Ops, you don't really see this much detail in the game. So it makes me excited for the game. I'm still a little bit concerned about it, seeing as it is a reboot or reimagining of a very well-liked series in the Call of Duty franchise, and one that I thought ended perfectly. So we'll see what they end up doing with this in the long run. It looks like weapon attachments are back as well, so anyone who was afraid that they were going to dumb things down, maybe not too much for this one. So yeah, we'll see more on August 1st when Activision does the full reveal of the multiplayer in Modern Warfare. I believe it's going to be on their Twitch channel. Still looking forward to more information about the single player as well, but of course that hasn't come out yet. And finally for today, we have two stories coming off of Cyberpunk 2077. Cyberpunk 2077, just like The Witcher 3, is going to have a mode for players who don't really want to do much combat, or they want an easy combat. They just want a story, pretty much. They just want a story. So people who aren't comfortable with first-person shooters will be able to use the story mode game mode. And speaking to WCCF Tech, CD Projekt Red's Alvin Liu explained to the developers thinking on the subject. If you want to play more casually for the story and maybe you're not inexperienced with shooters, which is a real big concern for us, we want to tell a story, and maybe you're a big fan of The Witcher and you're not comfortable playing shooters, we have settings available for that. So that's kind of hinting at a more story-based game mode. I believe this game mode has been in a few different games I've played. Odyssey has that in it where it's more story-driven, so the combat isn't that hard. I think Mass Effect had that in the later games as well, just so people who don't really like the combat, or they just want a story, you can do that as well. Use that mode as well. The Witcher 3, of course, is a big one that had the story-oriented game mode and stuff like that. So, it's just following along their track record. And I think it's a good idea, because not everyone's a fan of first-person shooters, but maybe people are fans of CD Projekt Red, and they really want to play this game. It looks really interesting. All the designs of the characters are so unique and well drawn out, and obviously there's a lot of care put into them. So even if you are a fan of first-person shooters, maybe you don't want to do the first-person shooting thing because the story intrigues you enough. But we'll see about that. Cyberpunk comes next year in April, so you got time to dwell on that. And finally, for the Cyberpunk 2077 news, there is an official 200-page lore book up for pre-order right now from CD Projekt Red and Dark Horse Comics. If you really want to know the backstory before the game comes out, you can pre-order the hardcover lore book, which comes out a few days after the game on the 21st of April. So I guess you can't really prepare unless you didn't get to pick up the game the first day. It's going to be titled The World of Cyberpunk 2077. It's going to be a 200-page book, and it's currently on pre-order on Amazon, priced for about $40 for a physical copy and about $28.79 for a Kindle copy. And on Amazon UK, the physical version isn't available, but the Kindle edition is. The book is coming courtesy of Dark Horse Comics, like I said, and of course they do a good job with their comics and stuff, so it's probably going to be pretty high quality. If you're dying to get your hands on this, like I said, it's going to be available the 21st of April 2020, but you can pre-order it now just so you can make sure that you get a copy of it. The description of the book reads, an insightful, captivating designed, full-color hardcover that transports readers to the futuristic megalopolis of Night City, the epicenter of the vibrant new action RPG from CD Projekt Red. This intricately assembled tome contains everything you need to know about the history, characters, and world of the long-awaited follow-up to the creators of the Witcher series video game. Are you going to be getting this? Let me know in the comments below. The cover looks pretty cool. It just has 4 different scenes, or like almost posters of Cyberpunk, with Cyberpunk in the middle, of course, and it's yellow and black font. Pretty exciting stuff, guys. Alright, real quickly, let's go ahead and open up a Yu-Gi-Oh! Arena of Lost Souls pack. We are still looking for that dreaded Blue Eyes Fusion card. Last live stream, I thought we had it, but it was just another great Mammoth of Gold find. Let's see what we get. We got a White Elephant's Gift, a Gravekeeper's Ambusher, the Snake Hair, and Violet Crystal. Nothing good in that pack. I mean, the Crystal's pretty good. I like the Crystal, but nothing really too amazing in that pack, so oh well. We still have a few more packs in this set. Each one comes with, I think, 4 or 5. So, like I usually say, we open up a Yu-Gi-Oh! Pack every podcast and live stream just to try to find that card. Finish our freaking set for the Arena of Lost Souls. We got every single other card in this goddamn collection. I just want that last Blue Eyes. God damn it! Remember, Tuesday is the day for Yu-Gi-Oh! The official videos come out on Tuesdays, and that's around 10 a.m. This Friday, we're having a new episode of Player 2 and Yemmy Power Hour, which is the new podcast that I'm doing with my good friend Player 2. It's every other week. This week, we're starting with UK slang. So if you want to check that out, you can. That's going to be on Friday. I usually, we're going to upload those at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, which I think is about 5 or 6 p.m. GMT, BST, whatever it is. So make sure you check that out. It's available on Spotify as well now, which I will not be saying in the new episode, but I will put that in the description and at the end of it as well, just so everyone knows, hey, it's not on SoundCloud, it's actually on Spotify, which is pretty cool, pretty neat. So you can check that out. Also, this podcast is available on YouTube, Spotify, SoundCloud, and iTunes as well. You can check it out on all those other platforms. If you are listening to this on any of the other platforms, I appreciate you nonetheless. If you're here for the premiere on YouTube, thank you so much. I appreciate you as well. Thank you so much. I think they're actually on this side. Thank you so much. Okay, there we go. As always, I am your host, Yemmy the Ferret, and this has been another episode of YemmyCast, a video game podcast.